Um, Saturday night was the last time I'm doing that show. From the beginning to the end, there is a consistent disregard that neither of us have to put up with. They don't need me, I don't need them. You know, when we negotiate commercial activity, the only thing people think about is remuneration package. And the reason why I usually feel uncomfortable and I'm reluctant to accept work coming to me from local promoters is mostly because of everything else. Mostly because of the lack of manners and the unwillingness to provide technical support. Saturday night, I left from the show and drove for just about an hour to get to my Airbnb because I had no room. Now, check this. Somebody asked me, so didn't you guys negotiate? They refused to go above 6 rooms. And it is my opinion that every Jamaican artist needs to do Jamaican shows. That's an opinion. It's not a hard and fast rule or fact. It's not a law. But I feel like every Jamaican needs to do Jamaican shows at some point. And for the most part, all of us do. Sometimes we have to bend over backwards to make it happen. My agent and I both opted to get ourselves Airbnb and let the band and the background singers and the engineer have the rooms because it was not enough to accommodate all of us. We stayed outside. We were given instructions to get on a shuttle because no vehicle passes would be given out. We got not even one vehicle pass, so we went to the rendezvous spot where we were told to jump on the shuttle, and when we got there, we were dismissed. We have no such knowledge of you entering these premises, and it's understandable because all-inclusive hotel, only guests are allowed to go in. This is standard policy and it is practical. It has nothing to do with the hotel. Being instructed to go there, I thought this was something that they actually discussed with this entity and got permission for that. No such conversation actually existed between the two entities. And so me and my crew were turned back and told to go someplace else. And the shuttle picked up those who were staying at the hotel and drive to somewhere else past the show to collect the rest of us and go to the show. At the show, first I discovered this new thing, fully segregated. My band can go someplace and my guest band can go someplace. That it's fully segregated. Like, we had no space to actually watch the show. My attempt to go watch Richie Spice. And one man back after me and tell me, say, round this year for day, round this year for day. If me did somebody will never have space where me belong and where me can go and feel comfortable, me that shame. But I feel hurt some kind of way. We can only imagine how the young artists feel when they get that. Because the bark after when we get could only come from a dog. Round this year for day. I go back around which part me for day. Alright. You see, outside of that, that is the treatment from the organization. And it's okay. May I tell you something? When it happened, me annoyed. when it was in progress, I was very annoyed. But I shouldn't have allowed it to affect me, but it caused me to go up on stage with a different energy. During the same night of the show, we learned that our 45-minute set, was cut to 30 minutes. After a whole week of rehearsals for a 45-minute set, was cut to 30 minutes. I want to big up the musicians, the singers, the dancers, for improvising and doing what they love and are good at, regardless of such a major change. Can I tell you that I made a joke about the big clock in front of me? Didn't affect me as much as I joked that it did. But me can imagine how it affect other people. One big countdown clock. Between the clocks, because I'm multiple clock, and the big fences, the chain link fences, and the gruff demeanor of some members of staff, among all those things, when you add them up, it's not an environment conducive to the best presentation from any creative. We're not thriving in an environment like that. And I can tell you that whatever entity now owns that production has nothing to do with creativity. I can tell you this. I know creative people own this. Creative people never touch this. Because creative people don't create environments which are not conducive to fellow creative people. True creatives are incapable of this. So, my decision to not return to that environment is final. That is from the technical side. From the other end now, let me just say that Jamaican backstages are some festering cesspools of toxicity. Just like with bacteria, the naked eye cannot see it, so back there, the naked eye may not see it. But, to all the people, I know that some people hear me and react to some other people and look for me and say, yeah man, everybody right. That's what she stay. I don't care. I do not care. But, when I come across people who consistently, may I tell you, one man the backstage, but from the first day me set foot into what is supposedly popularity, that man has been consistently turning up behind me in the presence of others and saying negative things. Now you're my thing set. May you no need to argue about it because that reflects you. That's how you feel, that's how you speak. But when you see me, do not enter my presence. That's all I ask. I don't ask you to change a narrative. It is your narrative. You are free to keep it. And I respect your right to keep whatever narrative you choose to have. But when you see me, do not enter my presence. And I shouldn't have to tell you. If you diagnose me as insane without the appropriate degree or skill training, you should not enter my presence. If you have been consistently saying things that under normal circumstances, normal being humans are fucked up, would actually undermine my security, my safety in the presence of others, if you have been doing that consistently for decades, you really should not want to be in my presence. If you choose to come in my presence, I reserve the right to say or do anything to you, because you are not supposed to be in my presence. So now, whether you come from media or you come from Judea or anything between, I have no care for that. Don't come near me. Do not touch me. Do not try to speak to me. And you know yourself. You see, when we have conversations like these, people say, who you talk? This is between me and who me talk, and they know themselves. Right?